Hey guys, I am about to show you guys a shaker card. This is one that I am trying to use. I think that's going to be long enough. I just got just a small piece of silver twine. You can use gold, whatever. I have some gold over here too that I can use if that isn't. I'm using true brushed Cricut cardstock. I am using some sequins. I'm using some rhinestone shakers from Queen & Company, some Nuvo drops. This is a Faber-Castell Pitt artist pen from Michaels in a fine point. If I can get it to focus. There you go. Doesn't like it. It focused and then it went out. Ta-da! Let's try it again. There we go. These fit in your Cricut, so if you want to use those, it does write on the true brushed. I also use debossing, but you can use your scoring tool on this. It just won't be as deep of an emboss, or deboss, I'm sorry. My writing was slightly off from the debossing, but I like the effect that it gave it. It almost looks three-dimensional. So I'm pretty happy with it, and it wrote on there it's staying. So if you want to do that, you can just write and have it score and write. So if you open the file, it is set for debossing, but you will need to change that to scoring if you do not have a maker or if you do not have the deboss tool. I am cutting this out of craft board because it will be standing up and it will be slightly heavy to the front. So I have cut an extra panel and we're going to see if we actually need it. We may not need it. So I put one to the back and then one for inside. That's what these panels are. You're going to do this like a W, okay? So it's going to be a valley fold, a mountain fold, and a valley fold, and then another valley fold, okay? And, oh no, it doesn't line up. Yes, it does. It's kind of wonky, but for it to stand up the way that I wanted it to stand, it's a 3D card. This is the card you're going to have to, I'm not going to put it in an envelope. This is one that I'm just making for my home. So if you want to put it in an envelope, it's going to have to be a really strong envelope, or you're going to have to move that back score line. Or you can just put it in the mail and just put a little note on here, peel strip, and then have them glue that. I have done that with cards in the past too. So, you know, something that it's interactive for them, so they can peel that strip off of red line tape or score tape. You can put along that edge and have them peel it and stick it, and then it will stand up for them. So if you want to mail it flat, that's the way that I would do it personally. But anyway, let's go ahead and get our elements on here. I'm going to go ahead and glue mine so that I can go ahead and start those panels. And I am going to use my extra panel, I think. I don't know yet. I want to see how it looks with it and without it. But if you want to use yours, cut it in a different color or pattern paper. That glue time to hold. But this is a stand-up card. And let's see. Our shaker piece. I have cut, again, you'll need to cut this out of craft board, your base, or a heavy 110-pound cardstock, because the way I make the shaker, it could get top heavy on you, and you don't want your card to topple over. That's what I'm trying to avoid. If I have to change the base and fix it before you guys cut it, I will. Because you're watching me do my mock-up. And I'm hoping that it works so that I don't have to reshoot and all of that good stuff. Yeah, that should be good enough. And you just need a small piece of whatever you're going to use there. And I've got my little silver hanger here that I'm going to put on the front. You have 2 of these pieces, and that's in case it swings or goes sideways or whatever when it's standing, so that it looks finished on the back. There it is. I knew I had one. So you have 2. A little silver piece goes on one. You're going to flip them over, and I'm just going to apply a little bit of glue. Oops. Trying not to get it on the front. You can actually run this if you have your Xyron machines, your sticker makers, run these pieces through and then stick them. I'm just going to use a little art glitter glue if I can actually hit the paper instead of my mat. Would be nice. There we go. And then you're going to take, this is just overhead transparency like they use at schools. It's not the printable kind. Very inexpensive. You can use your matte things. It's just not as clear. I'm just going to line that up right on there. And clean up any glue that I got in there because that dries matte and clear and it will show. So I have that piece. And then we have our back piece. And I'm just going to toss some glue on that one. My sticker maker is in the other room, or I would have run this through the sticker maker. I prefer glue because I'm not good at lining up, and once it hits that sticker, it's done. You could actually put this on. If you use the scrapbook sticker, I didn't even think of that. I should have put that on, put my paper on that and then cut it. But it's okay. Would have been great for these guys. Now I cut 8 of these, and I did cut them out of craft board. And the reason I cut them out of the craft board is because of the shaker elements I'm using. And it gave me a pretty good thickness. Okay. I don't know why it won't stay in focus. That just irritates me. But you can see that thickness that I'm getting off of that. If you're not using the thicker elements and you're just using flat sequins, you don't need as many of these. So I'm just going to go through and glue all of these together. And I'm not going to make you guys watch me do that. I'm going to pause the camera while I glue all of these one by one on top of each other and line them up. But that's all I'm doing, is I am going to be gluing all 8 of these together in line. And I will be right back. Okay guys, I've got mine glued together here, and good and thick, nice and sturdy. And you could actually not even make the card. You guys could make this totally just a shaker card ornament rather than a card, but I would suggest using your Xyron machines rather than the art glitter glue or liquid glues if you're going to do that, so that there was no chance of them popping apart with these transparencies should they be handled a lot. Got some glue on the inside there. Just going to line that piece up on the back. Got glue on my fingers and that true brush to have to get my glue eraser and get that off. And yes, there is a such thing as a glue eraser. It's called a gum eraser, and you can get that off of there if you get any on the transparency or on your true brushed. So now we have to fill our shaker elements, and I'm just going to put a couple of sequins in there. And then I'm going to use some red just for a pop of color. I don't know that I want to put the green in there. That was just I just got it out just in case. A little extra. I think I'm just going to go with the red and the clear. So, and I'm just going to lay this up here and kind of shake it around and see if I got enough in there, and I think I do. Put as little or as much as you want. Let's toss some green in there, why not? Just a few. They're not that dark. And then we're going to glue this one on. So I'm just going to go around. And if you're using glitters or anything like that, you really want to use your Xyron machines because you don't want that glitter shaking out in between anywhere you're glued it and fully make contact all the way around. So I'm just going to smush that down. And I'm going to give that a second to dry. Just set it off to the side for a few and let that get good and dry. And put my panel on the back. You know what? I put my panel on the front and I should not have. I hope I can get it off. I'm not thinking today. There may be a way I can fix it though. I had planned to get my folder in there. Get that stuck down really good. I had planned to put that silver piece in there, but I think I do want it to the back. That way it's not interfering with the whole. Yeah, I think so. And I am going to go ahead and put that through, bring it up. I may not have it long enough, and I don't. I think I'm going to go with the gold anyway. Let me grab a piece of my gold cord here. That's better. I'm just going to loop that right through my little shaker ornament. How cute is that? And then I need my tape. Okay, I found my Scotch tape. Now I put a piece of just double stick tape on the end of that, and that was just so that I could keep it from unraveling. Just going to cut the biggest portion of it off, because this is not going to hang up in there very far. You don't need a whole lot. Yeah, it just raveled on me anyway, so that didn't work. But I'm just going to take a piece of my Scotch tape, and I'm going to get all of those little pieces in there, since it's in pieces now, and get that wrapped. Cut off the excess, and I'm just going to lay it in here right about where I want it. Probably should have done this before I glued it, but I didn't. I'm going to cut this in half. I'm going to let it grab onto itself, or was. It's really sticking to my fingers more than anything. Didn't really need to be that long anyway. I just need a good bit of it in place. And I'm just going to smush it down. And do I have it high enough? I do. I think I want to make it just a tiny bit shorter, so I'm going to pull that out of there. You don't, like I said, you don't need a lot of cord, just a tiny bit. It's just the illusion of it hanging there. And you can make your ornament a little bit smaller if you want to. Give yourself a little more clearance with this. Flat and tuck it. Yay, I got it. So then, it's really hard for you guys to see. This is going to dangle freely, and I would flip it over and give my tape a good smush on both sides where you can get in there and see it. I'm just going through the hole here, you guys, where my tape is, and mushing it down. How cute is that? And I don't believe, maybe, I really like that inside as well. I think I will glue that one in. So then just, if you want, put this panel in. This is totally up to you. You can use a totally different color or a pattern paper. It'll be just as pretty. Just even it up. How cute. So there you have your little Christmas card. And the photos I show will be better than this because I'm having to lay this down for you guys to see it. And so it's falling to the back. But it is just super cute and hanging, or it was, and I missed my tape. So I am going to go back and fix my tape again. Maybe a wire would do better. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe a single strand of the cord would be better, or a ribbon. This. And hot glue it. That's what I'm gonna do. So that's how I'm going to do mine. I am going to use a single strand of this. I am going to pull it up, and I'm actually going to knot it. If you guys come up with a better way of attaching the ornament in there, please let me know. No, I'm not gonna, I want it looped. I don't want it. Okay, so I'm just going to tape those together, and then I'm going to hot glue that in to mine. So skip the tape, hot glue it. The tape's just to keep my cord from unraveling. And it needs to be a little shorter than that. I can work with a bigger piece easier. Snip it. Okay, and then I'm just going to hot glue mine. I'm going to flip it over this way and put a dab of hot glue right here, and then I'm going to, as I hold it over, I'm going to just hold my little piece of cord into the hot glue so that it dangles freely, if you guys can see, like this while it's gluing, and then it will hang right. So let me heat up the glue gun just to show you guys, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I think my glue gun is heated up enough now. And I'm just going in here with my glue gun right in the spot. You can mark it with a pencil or whatever. Make sure that you have your little hanger piece in the right way. And then I'm just going to press it down without burning myself, hopefully. Just got it in there. And the way that it's laying, you can see that I don't have my silver piece here. It's on the other side, which is the way it needs to go. And yay, that's perfect. Hot glue is the way, guys. That worked really, really well. It's already cool and it's hardened in there. So I'm going to say hot glue it. So just make your cord, wrap your little tape around it so it won't unravel and you can handle it. And then that will stick right into the hot glue without any problem. I don't know if you guys can see it in there, but it's just really short. You don't need a very big piece, and it will spin around. So love, love, love. I think I did put mine on back. No, I didn't. It'll spin. So I hope you guys enjoy this project. I was thinking about some Nuvo drops just to give it a pop of color on the front with that Merry Christmas. So I think I'm going to use my Ruby Slippers Nuvo drops. And these will look a little milky to you guys, but they will dry really like crystals. Yeah, and if you have some rhinestones this size, could most certainly use those. How pretty. So I will take some photos of this once it dries so you guys can get a good photo of it. I'm gonna prop that up so that it dries even and they don't run. And this is the exclusive file for my monthly supporters, and later this evening you will get the public file for all others, and that will complete day 9 of the 12 days of Christmas, and I will see you tomorrow for day 10.